Right.
So, and I did. So I was like, look, I'm just going to do this and see how long it lasts. You know, everyone's got a. I felt like, you know, I really found out through other comedians that if you don't have a podcast and you already have a fan base, you're leaving money on the table.
You're kind of missing out.
Yeah. So
Well, also, beyond that, it's just a great way to connect.
but I
with
didn't
your fans,
think of it
too.
that way until I started doing it. I was like, you know, I want to make money.
More money.
Fuck it, you know. And then I realized once I started doing it, how much like, I mean, in a much smaller way, for me at least, it's like, you know, it's like a TV, like the TV, when people are watching a TV show and they're like, oh, I got to wait till next week to watch the next TV show, which a lot of people binge watch now. But when I was a kid, that's how people used to watch TV. And now people feel connected and they wait for the, you know, they feel like they know me more.
Yeah, most definitely.
And they do.
Yeah.
Because I'm, you know, me or a version of me on that comedy, on the comedy podcast. But yeah, it really like makes them feel like they know you. And that's kind of a double-edged sword. Sometimes you like it and sometimes you don't. But it as I have my opener when he says, "You guys listen to congratulations," before he brings me up, the cheers have just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger throughout the past year. Yeah, it's really crazy.
Awesome.
It's really crazy.
Your podcast is different than ours in that it's you and you're talking. I mean, how was that experience from going from stand-up to just like talking into a camera and nobody's there? Because you do shows, you act a lot.
Right.
But was that a different skill to learn, or did it kind of translate?
You know what? It's like stand-up in the way that, like, stand-up to me is a version of making, like, when I'm at a diner with my friends late night, I'm sometimes like, you know, doing jokes. I mean, we're always joking around, messing around, but like sometimes I'm just fucking with them and we're just making jokes and we're doing bits or whatever. I always felt like before I did stand-up, I was like, if I could get to be on stage and treat the audience like they're the other people in the diner, then I'll be able to I know I'll be able to do it because I literally would do that every day of my life. I'm obsessed with trying to make people laugh and like trying to and think of what do I think is funny, what's funny about this situation. And so for podcasting, it was the same thing except when I'm in my house and I'm with my dogs, like I'll catch myself just like talking about things for no reason, like I'm a fucking insane person, and then I'm like, oh, well, maybe I'll say that on my show or my act or whatever. But then when I started to do the podcast, I was like, oh, this is just that. This is just like me talking out loud in my house.
Yeah.
And I kind of do that anyway. I don't do it for a full hour like an insane person, but like that's how I come up with material. I just start like talking in my house and I think, oh, that's funny.
Do you ever, is material born from your podcast ever? Does it like start in the podcast and then goes to the stage?
It has for sure, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, it also helps me like creatively, because I don't like sit down and like write at the computer my act. So like,
sort of rehearse it.
Well, how do you do that? Because when you do your act, is it very much rehearsed?
For me, I'll go up with an idea that I have. And
like when you do Man on Fire, which is like a special.
Yeah. Well, that's the act that I've been kind of honing, right?
Okay, right.
But
so
all of those bits came from me going on stage, thinking like, oh, it's funny when guys work out. I'll go on stage and start talking about it.
That's a wild way to approach it. To kind of just go up there and be like, all right, let's see what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, I think though, like so much of it is about, like that's what I say. If I going back to like being in a diner with my friends, I'm so comfortable with them. They're my friends. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think through years and years of practice and through thousands and thousands of shows, I'm able to get into that headspace on stage. Do you know?
That's awesome.
So, I love it. I love doing it. And it's, you know, there's an old saying like it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And you know, I think it is. If you're that confident, and I mean, like there's guys who. My buddy Brian Callen, who goes on stage, he talks about horse shit for an hour, and it's hilarious. And it's not true, but he acts like it is, and it's you know, yeah. So it's those guys are I mean, you know, guys like that are just it's about how you say it.
That's cool.
I think
that's a cool way to just hone the skill. Just get it in the fucking gauntlet and and get it down.
And it's one time I was on a plane. I shit you not, man. If somebody told me this, I wouldn't believe them. But it happened to me, and I know it happened to me, and it's true because I know that because I witnessed it.
This almost sounds like a lie.
Yeah, I know.
You know what? Reaffirmed it.
I
so
know,
much.
and part of it is because I have to convince myself it actually happened.
Okay,
It's not nobody shit on the plane or anything like that, but it's like so we're going to Montreal, which is a big festival in Montreal just for laughs. I'm doing it again this year, but I went and they fly us up there, and whenever you fly up there, since it's a stand-up festival, it's a comedy festival, there's always like 9 comedians on your flight, right? So you're sitting there with, you know, Sebastian, Tom Segura, Bill Burr, whoever the fuck. And you see, oh, hey, Chelsea Handler, oh, hey, you know. So Adam Carolla's sitting behind me. I know Adam, you know, I say, hey, he sits behind me, and he doesn't know, there's another comedian behind me, and I meet him, and Adam didn't know him. So Adam Carolla is sitting next to this other comedian. This is the 2 seats. I'm in front of him. And the flight to Montreal from LAX is 6 hours, okay? And Adam Carolla, I'm telling you, did not stop talking to that kid for longer than, no exaggeration, 30 seconds.
Now, you were watching this with like morbid curiosity.
In the beginning, I was like, and I know Adam, and I love Adam, and he's great. I do his podcast all the time, and he's fucking hilarious. And I was like, when's this guy gonna fucking take a break? Dude, he didn't take a break. He didn't take a break. The other kid didn't talk.
Wow.
He was just like, yeah.
Were you overhearing the whole thing?
And then first hour I was like, man, he's been talking for an hour. Then I fucking, man, and I was like, I'm gonna stay listening because I have to find out when he takes a break.
Right.
I have to like see how long, and he didn't. Dude, he landed, and I was like, this motherfucker.
And was he talking off the plane? It kept going.
Yeah, he never stopped. He never stopped.
And the new kid who was on the receiving
I don't even know
end,
who that was.
His face? Did you catch a glance in his eyes?
No. Not while it was going on. I mean, maybe I did. I don't remember.
Was anything interesting?
Yeah, no, it was all interesting. That's what I'm saying. Adam Carolla is so good at that. And he was talking about stuff, and I was like, man, this guy's, it's like he had thought about everything already that ever happened.
Right.
And he's like, if the guy's like, yeah, Q-tips, is like, well, you know, the thing about Q-tips is, it's like, the fuck is interesting about Q-tips? The guy's just amazing at it. So when you're in that comfortable space where you can just, I'm saying, like, Carolla didn't even need that kid to be sitting there. And it was interesting. If he just talked for 6 hours, I could be like, all right, I would listen to that.
He's a conduit of comedy.
Yeah.
He's always channeling him.
So,
that's crazy.
You know, and I'm not saying I'm as good as that, but I you know, to get into that comfortable space to where you can just talk, which is what we do as comedians. So I feel like it was a version of that, and I just had to work through a few episodes, and then I think figured it out. After like the 3rd episode, I was like, oh, I can do. I really expected to do about 3 or 4 episodes, and then just chalk it up as a loss. But
well, guys, check it out.
Like 74 now, so we'll keep going.
God bless.
Have a listen.
So I know you've probably talked about this so many times, but we've talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
And Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Hit me with that echo. Logan Paul. All right, we missed Logan Paul.
Got it.
We got that. He's something we've talked about a lot.
Oh yeah. I saw you guys step on when you talked about it.
And it's like I feel like that exchange really showed what a fucking dumbass he is, or maybe even just like how damaged he is from the whole Suicide Forest thing.
Yeah.
I want to go over it with you.
Yeah.
If you don't mind.
I'm happy to, yeah.
I want to go over this, and I want to get your thoughts on some of these Twitter exchanges, okay?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I'm curious, your initial interaction when he said, it's important that you watch.
Right.
No, it's not.
Right.
Now, how did Logan Paul come on your radar to begin with? Because you were ready.
Yeah. I don't know if I was I may have been following him, but I think actually I just maybe saw it because he's so omnipresent.
Somewhere,
you know what I mean? Yeah. So I probably just responded to it. Maybe I follow him. I don't know. But so I just no, it wasn't because of the Suicide Forest thing.
Yeah.
Like, so I was
that
like,
was crazy. That was insane how everywhere that was.
Yeah. That was just bad. But and so I just wrote no, it wasn't.